Happy April, everyone.
Good morning. Yay.
We've got bright sunshine behind me. I even see bright sunshine behind Gail coming through her window. For all this raining and flooding
Oh,
and
absolutely crazy.
snowing sometimes.
Yeah, we've been like 60 and then like 25 and then snow and then yeah, it's hour to hour crazy. Well, typical, Illinois weather, I guess, Chicago weather.
Yeah, it's
But with that comes great change. We are in times of great change. Da da da. I
we're
love it.
growing and outgrowing.
We are growing and outgrowing.
There's hey, who's sharpening their claws on my chair?
Who is doing it? Skewy? I blame you. Who's
They don't
back there?
usually do that on my chair because I have scratching posts around, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh, it's
Who's
Lucy.
Oh, it's Lucy,
She's
girl.
playing
She's
with the kittens, so she's trying to show them I'm stronger than you are.
oh she's like, no, it was Skewy.
Oh,
No, it was
she is
Bro.
playing. Now she's running over here, jumping in boxes.
Oh my gosh. Wow. She got a little spritz of young spring energy too.
Yeah, she definitely got some spring fever. She's got Roro and Bella following her, and she's running around showing them, I'm boss, I'm in charge.
It's awesome.
They have not outgrown Lucy yet. They just love her.
That's awesome. She's like the mama of the clan, so she can, you know, teach them all the things.
Gonna take a sip of my coffee here. I
Oh
got
my
frog
gosh.
voice this morning.
Cheers. Oh, I got this. I don't know what brand. I can't remember, but it's this new brand that I found. Oh my gosh, so yummy! It's got like toffee and caramel, and just this real rich dark bean. Oh, it's lovely.
I love toffee and caramel coffee, and like caramel macchiatos and stuff.
Me
So mine
too.
is a caramel flavored also, toffee
Oh,
flavored.
that's nice. Yeah, yeah. I'm not super sweet girl, so like I just like the flavor in the bean, but I love the warmth of it. The with the caramel, just as warm to me. Ooh, it tastes good. Who's drinking what today? Do we have anybody on here yet?
Oh yeah, we got about
Oh yeah.
80 so far.
Oh
They're coming
yay! I
in,
gotta
getting
get out of my.
notifications.
Oh, there they are. I was in my private chat for some reason. There's everybody. Hello, hello. Good morning.
Hey, Beth Cat, you survived all
Yay!
your storms last week.
Nice.
She would get the storms
Oh,
and then
Earl
they'd come up
Grey.
this way.
Hi, Sonia from class. She's drinking Earl Grey this morning.
Earl Grey or early? She typed early Grey.
Oh,
It
either
is,
one is fine.
yeah, I usually like to sleep in on Sundays, so this is early for me.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
Oh, hey,
I
Ohio.
try
Woo.
not to drink coffee before we go live because otherwise I'm just going to tank up on way too much coffee because I know I'm going to drink during the video.
Yep.
So whenever I get up, I'm like, groggy and my eyes aren't open. My throat is froggy.
Right, right, right. Yep. No, that first cup is like magic, and this our show is always like magic to me. So it's the perfect combination.
I made extra this morning. I
Yay!
can
I do,
refill.
but mine's in the pot upstairs, so we'll wait for later. I filled up pretty good though.
The sacred sounds of pouring coffee.
Yeah.
It's like, yes.
All right. All right, guys. So we have a visitor. Here she is. She knows the camera's on. So Rose is here. Hi.
Rosie.
Yeah.
Hi, Rosie.
Yeah. She's just like squeak squeak. Who are you talking to that I'm not involved? I want to go on the lamp and see all the people. You see everybody? Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys on the West Coast or East, West Coast. It's even earlier for
All
you
right. You
guys.
want to go down or stay up? All right. She'll have to sit on my
Thank
lap.
you, Rose. She'll probably make her presence known again.
Oh,
Yep.
yay. Sonia's in Oregon. That's right. I remember. Yay.
Yeah,
all those Easter
broadcasting from
eggs.
heaven with the light behind me.
Yeah, I always think that, Jen. It's true.
It's like the tree helps block some of the light. It's a bay windows, and
Yeah, yeah.
the morning sun comes in here, and it's so strong. It's like I have a light on in front of me, which counteracts it a little bit, but
Right.
it's not enough. It's like wow, it almost gives me a headache a little bit. It's so bright on camera. So
Yes. Oh, prayers to Eric. All right. Energy coming your way, Barbara. Jen has some beautiful stuff. Actually, oh my God, I've got some.
I,
We're like talking about how much stuff, like what a big show today is, kind of just because there's so much to talk about.
I stumbled on some things in this book. When we did the March Sacred Sounds and came up with the topic for today from something that I had read in this. But for those who have not seen this book, Velvet Dragonflies by Billy Chapata. It is one of my favorites. It's like just little short things on each page. It's one of those books you can do stickomancy with, where you can just open it and you'll get a message you need for the day.
I love that. I love
But
that practice.
yeah, or you can just read through it's just so beautiful. But I wanted to start by reading something from the book to get us going on growing and outgrowing. The energy will always be different when you revisit a place you've outgrown. The energy will always be different if you re explore a person you've outgrown. The energy will always be different when you take steps back to reach someone at a level that doesn't resonate with you anymore. And I think that's so true. Um, here's something else on healthy friendships. True friendship never looks at your progress as competition. True friendship doesn't look at your endeavors with envy. True friendship celebrates your steps, no matter how big or small they may be, and finds inspiration where they may be feeling or lacking.
Hmm. Oh wow, yeah,
I
that
think that's
occurs.
so true. Like, when you revisit, like if you try to reconnect with somebody that's fallen out of your life, it, you can't go home again. That expression.
Right?
It's like the energy just doesn't resonate with who you're becoming and who you've become. Um,
Yes.
I
If
have a couple
on
more I
the
want to read to
Yeah,
start this, but
on
let me
this
see.
related to friendship on the Spark website, there is a. I did like maybe a 45-minute video on friendship, outgrowing friendship, what is friendship, and that there's a lot of like prompts and stuff in there. It's so true. We are going through such a time of change, but that if anybody's interested in friendship specifically, that was a pretty cool one.
Yeah. If you outgrow me, I'm genuinely happy for you because that means that we've learned everything that we need to learn from our connection.
Right.
Like, don't be afraid to let things go that
Let
no
go.
longer serve you.
Yes, that is the message of the month of April is facing huge structures that existed in your life and closely examining and discerning and deciding, do I need to let this go? And it might not be pretty. It might be frightening and scary and you're questioning, and but this is the time of upheaval and letting go. Like, those stable structures. So April's the 4th, but in this current time, where those structures are crumbling and changing and morphing, and we really need to look at what we're doing and how we want to go forward. What do we want our lives to look like in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? You know, um,
Yeah.
what structures are we going to change? Are we going to go from a new structure?
It's very important when you're going through a lot of changes and you're growing and whether you're changing yourself or you're trying to bring change in your world, um, communication is like crucial. And if you don't have an open dialogue, right, it's hard to communicate. Um, but you also some people want to misunderstand you. That's because of the
Right.
space they're in at the time, and it's like you have to kind of let
Absolutely.
that get, like I hold people accountable. I'm like, no, that's not what I said. And we'll try to clarify, say it again, and try to clarify if I feel someone's misinterpreting me, or if I'm misinterpreting someone else. I'll ask a question to clarify, right? So that communication is clear. um, but I love this one. Who I used to be isn't more important than who I am currently and who I am shaping up to be. Lower the volume on needing to be understood and increase the intention to understand yourself better. And I think that's crucial because the more we understand ourselves, the clearer we communicate.
Yes. And I think that's the whole point is, it's not about that one thing or that one moment in time or that one relationship. It's about our growth through it and how we learn to understand ourselves and then re-understand ourselves as we grow and let go. And yeah,
I
oh,
just,
I love that. I love him.
I love, like, we not only have to hold others accountable, but we have to hold ourselves accountable. And we have to recognize when our perception may be warped a little bit or something and think through it. And sometimes, um, sometimes you'll find friendships like get silent, or
Mhm.
relationships. And that gives you time to understand yourself as well as to understand the other person. Other times, I think, absence makes the heart grow fonder, but I think absence also gives you the ability to see through things, and it it unmasks. It
Right.
unmasks, like if you're putting up a projection of what you hope to see or want to see, when you take a step back, sometimes it's like, oh, no, no, here's reality.
Right. Right. 100%. Yep. Absolutely. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, and I think that whole concept of it just shakes your foundation. But I think we have to look at how is it time for a foundation shift. You don't have one foundation for your whole life, and I think right now we're looking at, okay, what is my foundation? What are my core things that my life kind of balances on? And where am I at with each of those things? Like, I think this is a great month for like journaling and examining, friendships, my health, my spirituality. Like, where am I at with all those things? And maybe if you get really locked in headspace, it might be a good time to do like automatic writing, or, where you kind of let go a little more and just let spirit kind of speak. And so you don't question and don't, let your fears play into it. It might be, I've done a little bit and I'm going to keep doing it this month of just kind of automatic writing on some really big topics for me and just kind of see what comes. What do I really, even though I may not want to admit it, what do I need to let go of? You know?
Sometimes, yeah, we get in a place where we get too passive and we let
Yeah.
people get away with things, the way they talk to us, and we get too passive, and then every now and then it's like, no, my friends don't talk to me that way. It's a line that I will pull on someone when they're being a little bit of a narcissist. It's like, no, I
Right.
treat you with respect, treat me with respect, and if it's not there, so there are times where, yeah, we bite our tongues, and being a little bit passive might be needed, but there are other times where the universe kind of forces us into, I don't want to be passive anymore.
Right.
I want to express myself, and I want to be heard for who I am. The
Ex-
other thing too, though, I think, is that to recognize you don't need validation from others. You need to validate yourself. It's all
yes.
internal.
Yes.
And
And
I think
so,
a lot of us, we try so hard to get validation from others, and it's like, let that go. I know
yeah,
when I'm on my right path.
right. Yeah. And I think, yeah, we get kind of locked into those connections and it just, it does stop you from the growth and stop, um,
Yeah,
stop you from getting to those parts of yourself that are more true and more and currently more true, because we're so locked in the past and we get in this like automatic pilot kind of phase because there's so much coming at us in life and work and families and kids and whatever you've got going on, that it's just easier to do automatic pilot. But this is the time to not do automatic pilot and really look at what's happening and what needs to change.
there are times I think where we try to force something into existence for us, or we try to force it by putting on a little illusions about what's going on. Um, that's getting out of the flow to me. If you're having to force it, if you're having to push too hard to make something happen, or you're putting on your rose-colored glasses and need to take them off a minute, right? um, you're not in the flow of the universe. It's like if you can step back and allow the universe to bring it to you. Energy is constantly changing directions. We can shift at any time and move forward and grow. Um, but I think it's very important to understand that when we push, when we force, we're forcing our views on other people that may not be ready for that.
Right. Right. And still stay active in what we believe. I mean, it's a really important time to not be still, not be, just we need to be active right now and know what we believe and not force on anybody, but certainly express yourself.
I I
Mhm.
think too, like a lot of people talk about, oh, I feel stuck, I feel stagnant, I feel stuck, I feel stifled, I feel like I can't move forward. I don't know what direction to go in and stuff. And sometimes that's what the universe is bringing you because there's something you need to learn before you can move forward.
Mhm.
So it's a great time to pause. Like, okay, what am I missing? What am I not learning? What am I not getting? There's obviously something that's holding me here right now. That's something I need to awaken to, something I need to learn for myself before I can move forward in
Yep,
new direction.
definitely. But I
Um,
think it's such a great time of evolution for all of us. I think our human family is evolving. It's not just, it
yeah,
is us individually that are facing this great change, but we're evolving. Like, we're moving into what some people call new earth or the shift or whatever. But we are at a time of human evolution that we have not seen in thousands of years. I mean, we're moving into the age of Aquarius. We're transforming greatly. And so, fasten our seatbelts, but how we discern what we want to come next is extremely important right now, and to be really aware of, our choices, our decisions, be very discerning. Who do we want to be? Do we want to go forward with love and compassion? Do we want to fight? Do we want to be angry? And we're humans. All of that is going to be a piece, but who do you want to really, how are you presenting as your bulk, the whole of yourself? Who do you really want to be on the planet?
it was interesting. We were talking before starting about the protest yesterday on April 4th, massive protest nationwide. And I don't want to get too political on Sacred Sounds of Coffee, but it was really funny because one lady had on her sign um, a twist on the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, um, to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And she said, I I'm changing the things I cannot accept. you know, and
Right,
sometimes that's the universe, like it pushes you into, okay, I got to be the change of something
right,
I can't accept here. I got to step
right.
into an active role.
That's a huge important piece. Like, it's not time to be dormant or be still. And I'm not saying we have to get out of this at each other's throats thing or this dog fight that we're in. That's not the point. But we've still gotta, you have to shape change, or you know, you can't let somebody shape it for you.
It recognize, you can't fix others.
Right.
You can't change them. People who deal with family members that have addictions know that. Like, you can't
Yeah.
fix them, you can't heal them. You can only support them through their healing journey, um, and celebrate their accomplishments and things. But learning to also recognize, with ourselves, like, we're gonna make mistakes, right? We all make mistakes. We're gonna hopefully learn from our mistakes. I think the big thing about mistakes is, I always say to look at the past to learn from, not to live in. So you
Right.
look back, you learn, and let go of the lower energies like resentment, anger, fear, hate, all those. Try to let go of those lower energies and get neutral with it. You don't have to send love either, just get neutral with it. That Learning to recognize it's okay to make mistakes. It's
Yes.
okay. Like, forgive yourself. It's okay to make mistakes.
And to
As long as
grow.
I'm growing and learning from it, it's okay.
Exactly. To grow and change your mind and say, ooh, that wasn't my favorite, what I just did there.
Yeah.
But, to accept, like, okay, so we're going to grow. Now what? But I also find for myself, this has been a really great time to spend a lot of time in the woods, in nature, like in big walking paths, because when I put my hands on the trees and when I feel the earth under my feet, you get that bigger perspective because the trees have been here for hundreds of years, thousands of years. We're so wound up in this moment that it's been so hard for me to like stay not angry and not, just kind of stay in that neutral space you're talking about. And when I, put my hands on the trees or I just sit on the earth, I'm able to kind of pull back. So that's been, and just meditate. Sometimes it's even hard to meditate, get into a meditative mind. So I have to go in nature and let the trees do it for me because it's just so hard to stay calm and stay present in where we are and just still reach that calm and that growth space. And so nature can be a really good help for that too, I found.
I love what Sonia just typed in the chat, celebrating learning from your mistakes. And I
Yes.
think that's so true. It's like, I look back on some things I did when I was younger. I was like, oh, what was I thinking? And then, I have to forgive myself. It's like, okay, but here's what I learned from it.
Right.
And if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have learned all that. I wouldn't have grown and matured and
Right.
hopefully been a little more reasonable adult.
Right. 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 Yep. Definitely.
But
I love Paisley said mistakes are protection or redirection, and that's sure true too.
yeah, because energy shifts everything. And if we're not afraid to make mistakes, we don't we don't move that energy. I mean, I love the term, with painters, like happy accidents. Like, oh, I didn't intend to paint that, but gee, I like how that looks. Sometimes mistakes are happy accidents.
Right. Absolutely. And great teachers.
Yeah. Um, but I think, the more we learn that we can't fix others, um, we learn what no longer serves us too. We learn, um, how to surrender to the process, for ourselves, and surrender to what others are going through. And we learn to let go of what we can't control. Um, Control's a big thing. We all try to be in control of our lives, and sometimes life's what happens while you're doing
Right.
other things.
Right.
So learning to surrender, and getting in that flow with the universe, where the universe will bring you. You know, I will find what I need most when I need it. Trusting that
Right.
process, that the universe is going to bring to me what I need most when I'm ready for it, when I need it.
Right. Right. Yes. That is so true. And to be open and okay, like to be open enough to say, okay, right. And even if you're
Yeah,
shocked or you're thrown off your footing or whatever, it's, yeah, that openness to what's being handed to you. Absolutely.
And
Oh, hello, Sharon Sipe. Yay. Hi.
Sharon, I find,
Thank you.
yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed to Gail, Sharon just posted a link to her Spark Soul Journey website, also her YouTube channel, Spark Soul Therapy.
I'm trying to get those two the
We,
same, and it's been a battle.
yeah, for those who are new subscribers on my channel, Gail and I alternate every other month to each other's channel for Sacred Sounds. We do it first Sundays every month at 10 Central Time. Um,
Yes.
but I think, a lot of times the things that no longer serve us, that kind of fall by the wayside, are when people can't accept that we're reinventing ourselves. They
Yeah.
don't want us to change, or they don't want us to grow. They want us to be stuck somewhere. And that's when, you get in an unhealthy relationship that can't grow with you. It's always the ones that fall by the wayside. It's like, okay, that was a great friendship when I was younger. It doesn't work for me as an adult. And whether you're the one that's leaving it behind, or they're the one leaving it behind, it doesn't matter. It just kind of falls apart, just disappears.
Yes. And that's okay. Like, we grow out of things. It's okay to let go. I think, and and it's so, complicated. Sometimes friendships have an orbit and they come back into your life after a while and things are changing. But if people don't allow you to change and don't allow you to do what you need to do, that's a pretty good sign that, you know, it's okay to move on.
I love this one. Connections that don't ask you to bite your tongue.
Mm,
Connections that don't require you to hide to be seen.
yes,
Connections that don't fear your opinion. Connections that never look at a disagreement or an indifference as a threat.
that is so beautiful.
Connections like this. And
I
I
love.
think that's what we're going through, like, globally, and in our, here in the US. It's like, um, disagreements or indifferences are not a threat.
Right.
We
Right.
can embrace our differences.
Yes, I mean, we just need to see and hear each other, and that's become so difficult. Everybody just wants to scream with their hair on fire instead of stop, listen. You don't have to agree. It's okay to disagree, and just agree to disagree. And we've gotten it's become such a struggle. It's okay to
This
accept a person.
this is one of my favorites. If my growth intimidates you, then you're not focused on your own journey enough. It's like,
Mhm.
if people can't celebrate our growth,
Right.
uh, and I see that a lot. When I'm doing personal readings, people, in their marriages or relationships, like, long term, and um, just can't can't seem to um, get to a place where their spouse allows them to grow and change,
Right.
and
And we
stuck in the way it was comfortable, and it makes them uncomfortable when you start to grow and step out and do different things.
right. Yeah, they can't celebrate your wins. And, it's so important to, that growth has to happen. And I think that one of the huge things is you give that person permission or not, to you create that relationship, and then, you know, you tell them how to treat you. So if you, continue to accept that, and you don't, express your need for growth, and, then it
And
takes.
just being your authentic self. If they can't
Mhm.
accept your authentic self,
Right. I
I tell you, I
mean,
could read this whole book to everybody
I know,
today.
I love
It's
that
like,
book.
there's just so many wonderful little, um,
It's wonderful, but we give people permission on how to treat us and how
yeah,
to, and it's really important to, and hard after you've been in a marriage for decades or whatever it be, to say, you can't treat me like this. Well, I've always treated you this way. So that you need
it's a
to,
cycle. It's like trying to break a cycle a little
yeah,
bit.
for
If
sure.
it's not feeding my happiness or my growth, then I'd rather not sit at the table for too long. Have you
Nice.
been sitting at the table too long?
Yeah.
We all kind of do that. It's like we get stuck sitting at a table too long. And I think we can help partners or relationships grow with us. Whether it's a friendship or a love relationship, just through communication. If we just suddenly try to be someone different than we were, and we're not sharing our thoughts and things,
Right.
and helping them to grow with us so they understand where we're coming from, then that's on us. We have to hold
Right.
ourselves
Exactly.
accountable for that.
That's the piece. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's where the communication really is crucial to help them on the journey. And then
Right.
if they still won't get on the boat, then that's on them.
Right. Exactly. But you have to kind of offer that, come into the boat. Here's what I'm thinking.
But
Here's how I'm changing. Here's who I am. You
it's
know,
reciprocal though. It's like we have to allow them also to grow. Like, are you
yes.
getting on the boat when they're growing? Are
Right.
you there trying to understand what they're going through and communicating and asking questions and showing interest? Are you getting on the boat with them when they're
100.
going through things that are helping them to grow?
Right. 100%. Yes.
We get so caught up sometimes thinking about our own
Right.
journeys. We forget, everybody's going through a journey, and to get in the moment to where you're there, connecting with someone one on one, and helping them to figure out what they want to do, the
Right.
direction they're going.
Mhm.
Sometimes just be a listening soundboard, right? Is all you need to do. But are you getting on other people's boats with them as they're going through a
Yes.
journey?
And being open. Yeah. Right.
Because if you're not journeying with them, they're going to leave you behind.
Right. And I mean, that's what we're doing here. Honestly,
Mhm.
that's what we're all doing here. Is
Yeah.
figuring that out. But I mean, this month in particular is a huge month for that discernment. It's a huge time for that decision making. And I think, another thing that is I found useful is, for this current time, is doing a lot of like solar plexus work where you're doing the mental, existence, the relationships, all that thing, all those things that kind of burn in your solar plexus, kind of doing meditations in that area and pulling out what's really in here. What do I need to do? Who am I thinking about? What am I thinking? Kind of doing that work. And also a lot of heart chakra work. When we get to the bowls, I'll be focusing on those two a lot. But just that
That
balance of,
throat chakra is speaking your truth, but
yes,
it's that solar plexus where you can connect and hear other people's truths and
right,
see what resonates with you.
yes, it's a time of excitement. And looking at those old patterns, and how we exist in the world and what we want the future to look like. Yeah. I mean, it's okay to ask your future self, hey, what's going on up there? Kind of do a meditation and try to connect with your higher self, your future self, and just kind of see, what do you see? What stayed behind? Where am I now? What do I want?
Just saying people grow, but at the foundation, does one really change their deep down beliefs? And I think yes. I think things that I thought were true when I
Hmm.
was a teenager, you or in my early 20s, like I have very different opinions about now.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. And
so
I
yeah,
think
I do
that's,
think people learn and grow and change. And
yeah, even your core beliefs can change. They don't have to, but they can. I mean, the thing is being honest with yourself. What do I see now? I think that's the hugest, scariest part of this change we're going through right now is core things are changing. The core beliefs, the core, like there's this huge re-examination of life and soul path, and because we kind of get in that structure of just going along, and we don't really look deeply because life is just fast and overwhelming and all kinds of things. But I think to really look at that core structure and see, everything stable? Is something, a corner fell off that really should stay off? How do I want to rebuild? what do I need to do? I think that's the it's big change. This isn't little change right now. This is huge change that we're going through. A restructuring and realigning of the self and the soul, being in alignment with your true current soul purpose.
I think one thing that has really grown with me is my perception of what God is. I was raised Southern Baptist, right? What God is, what the universe is, what divine energy is, what love is, what universal energy is, what you know, it's changed, and I've grown, and as I grow, I see it's bigger. Like it just keeps getting bigger, and I keep having things that happen that show me it's even bigger than that.
Right. Absolutely. And I think that one thing, like for people that have studied with you, Jen, just kind of energetically, our energetic fields and how that connects to the rest of the universe, and that's something that may need examining too this month. Where's my energy got holes? Where am I, what do I need to solidify and support and protect, and where am I
people
at?
don't People don't realize how big our energetic field was. I wish I could do it on camera here to show people, but like when I teach healing energy, I'm working in the first 7 layers of the um, auric field. And I should say, we're working. I'm teaching people to work, but I have felt up to 32 layers in the auric field. Now, to do that, because I feel a change in density at each layer in the auric field, I have to be in like a huge hotel ballroom to be able to get back far enough to feel it. Um, all those different layers, or out on a football field or something. I mean, our energy, we are constantly in each other's auric fields. We're huge.
Yeah. And it's important to make sure they're doing okay. Sometimes some of them get weak. Some of your layers are kind of, I get a lot of holes when I get stressed out. I get, like you just want to make sure your energy's healthy, and you're doing your work. Yeah.
Somebody's got a ball of tissue paper back here. They're
Oh,
chewing. I can hear them shredding it. It's like what is that noise? Like when you buy a new pair of shoes, they stuff the tissue in the toes. It's
yep.
something like that.
That's what she's got. Who's over there scratching?
I haven't seen who it is, but I see the
Oh,
tissue
who's the
back
culprit?
there. Not sure who
You
it is.
got some busy folks over there. Oh, my animals, I think they're feeling the shift too, because Rosie has been running around the house, like running. I'm like, what are you doing? We just went for a walk. Like, why are you running back and forth? And the cat's been all over the place. Like Camp Camille's they've been very active, and I feel like they're feeling the energy shift too.
Absolutely. It like a week ago before the solar eclipse, I could
Mhm.
not stop napping. Like I kept, between
Yes.
appointments, I'd take a power nap or whatever. I was so like just feeling it coming.
Yep.
This big shift of energy, and
Yes.
then I'm in Aries. I've got 4 planets in Aries, and my moon's at 0 degrees Aries. So last Sunday, Neptune, boom, 0 degrees Aries, and I'm like, whoa, you
Yeah.
know, it's
I,
like
yes.
sends you a little wonky.
Yep,
Um,
I have been sleeping like crazy. Oh my gosh, this energy shift. I've been dizzy, my ears are ringing, like, and I look at the health stuff of that, make sure I'm okay, but it's been such an energy shift.
a little bit of self care, and then it was really funny because like I was kind of lethargic. I was staying in the house, and it was raining a lot too, so that didn't help. It was cloudy, kind of rainy, so it made
Yeah.
me like even sleepier. So then yesterday, getting out and going to the protest, uh, where we parked our car and walked down, walking on hard sidewalks, and then you don't realize it when you stand on a hard sidewalk, just stand
Yes.
for an hour and a half,
Oh
how
my
that
god.
affects your back. And it's like, oh my God, I just need to stretch my back
Oh,
out, and
terrible. I
uh,
actually have a second job in like one of those big box hardware kind of stores, and I I when I do a 6 hour shift on those concrete floors, oh my goodness, my shins, my legs, my back, I'm like, oh, every couple of minutes I'm like stretching, and where I've gotten new shoes and to try to, but boy, is that tough stuff. It
And my
really,
my neighbor who I went with, her knees started bothering her. She goes, "I have to go sit down for a minute." So I stood there with her sign, and she went off and found someplace behind the crowd where she could sit on like some steps or something for a little bit, take a break. And then when
yep,
she came back, I was like, I got it because it was so crowded. I couldn't like bend over and stretch out, without bumping people. I said, I got to go stretch out a minute. My back is like
yeah,
not happy with me because I've been so immobile in my home. I'm like, okay, I got to like move that out.
yeah, and those
And
hard
that's the
cement,
thing, like, when you feel stuck, sometimes you just gotta stretch a little.
yeah. That's so funny. At my one job that I was just talking about, I like because they've always got like the '80s music. You know how they play the music in the store. I'm always like dancing and stretching, and the managers are like, "Man, you're way too happy." But I'm just like trying to move around and keep myself awake half the time.
I've
But you
I've
got to
always
move.
said
You got to stretch.
I've always had this ability when I have a lot to do, like, a lot to push through and make things happen. And then afterwards, I inevitably get sick because I've allowed my body to say, okay, now you can get sick. Like I constantly, I've
Absolutely.
always done that since I was, a teenager. I push through, push through, push through.
Yep. Me too.
When I was working, it's like, oh, I got
Yep.
this big project. I got to see it to the end. Now I can't
Yep.
get sick now. I can't get sick now. And
Yep.
that's all intention I was setting in my brain. And then once everything was done, I was like, woo. And that my intention went away and I'd get sick.
Yes. Hi, Jeff. Jeff just said hi, Jen and Gail. But yeah, I do that to detrimental
uh,
uh, points. I would say, like I was in a meeting recently, and I had this very bizarre, frightening kind of circumstance where all of a sudden, like I'm staring at somebody in a meeting on the computer, and half their face disappeared. All my words in my report were jumbled. All this kind of, and I couldn't. And I'm like swatting at my colleague that was sitting next to me, and she's like, "What? I'm being quiet. Like, what are you talking about?" I'm like, "Something's wrong." And she's like, "Let's just shut this." She had to. She said, and I don't remember parts of it. They think it might have been like a little TIA thing, but the doctors kind of thinks ocular migraine kind of thing. But she said, I shut your computer screen like 3 times and shut the video down. You kept turning it back on and opening it up. I got to finish my report. We just don't pay attention to ourselves. Like, I am so bad at that. And I'm like, really? 3 times I did that? I didn't remember anything. It was really weird. But
uh,
we don't take care of. I mean, I don't. I'll speak for myself. I do not take care of myself the way I should.
we get what you focus on is what you breathe, and when you focus on work, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not your best choice. So maybe some of that needs to go too at this time.
Yeah.
I need to re-examine, self-care first, self-care, you just all those things that we need to look at.
So before we do a meditation, I'm gonna read one more thing from my
Oh my gosh,
Velvet
how is it
Dragonflies
already
book.
it's already time for meditation.
It's already time. I mean, I
I
could go on and on
there's so
talking about
much.
growth and outgrowing. Life has no particular order. It has no correct sequence in which things should happen. It is not shaped by the precise timing in which you do or do not achieve something. It is a beautiful kind of chaos made easier when you embrace the lessons fully with a warm hug and patience. And that's life. We're on this little chaotic journey. It's all, you look back at like little synchronicities and little things that happened that got you, from point A to point C, and it's like, well, okay, where's point B? Like, it's crazy, the ups and downs of life. And learn to have fun with that, learn to flow with it, learn to ride the roller coaster of it.
Yes, this is time to flow. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Wow. So shall we do a
Yes, I can't
little
believe we're done already. Oh my gosh, that went so fast. I
a
knew it
little
would. I have like
meditation?
so many things to chit chat about, and it's such a wonderful topic during this time. So, all right,
We
I'm
may have
gonna.
to revisit this topic because
I think
it's
so.
something like we could talk on and on about.
Yeah, I still have like 3 pages of stuff we could talk about.
Oh, wow. Did you have a Mary Oliver poem you wanted to read?
I did not today. I don't have Mary
Okay.
Oliver. Yep.
Well,
Nope.
all my little bookmarks of everything in this book paid off. I can't
Oh,
I can't stop picking this book up. It's just one of those books that
it's
there's
beautiful.
something that always resonates with me. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I get it.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna mute myself.
I'm gonna take a sip of water before going into meditation. If you'd like to light a candle with me, I use tea lights. I like to let these candles burn all the way down. So after we end the live stream, I actually put them someplace where the cats can't jump on it, and let it burn all the way down. And you can add any, I always invoke, there's a certain 4 archangels I always invoke when I'm doing candle lightings, that I work with a lot. You by all means can insert any additional angels you like to work with. Um, uh, they're asking for the name of the book again. Hang on. Velvet Dragonflies. And here's the author, Billy Chapata. And of course, yeah, I love dragonflies, as you know, that's in my logo. That dragonflies are my symbol for Archangel Raphael. I have a very close working relationship with Raphael. Um, so insert any additional angels or your guides, ancestors, sagas, Johnny says, spirits, angels, guides, ancestors, um, that you would like to invoke. Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Ariel. We surrender to your mercy, compassion, and healing. Thank you for allowing me to learn through my experiences at my own pace. Thank you for allowing me to learn at my own pace. Thank you for those relationships that help me to grow. Thank you for helping me let go of what no longer serves me. Thank you for surrounding me with relationships that reciprocate in a healthy way, where I can give to them and they can give to me, and it's in a healthy, reciprocative way. Thank you for helping me tend and water my own garden and not someone else's. Thank you for following along with me as I grow and reinvent myself, and allowing me to reinvent myself over and over again. Thank you for revealing that which I need to see and allowing me to reveal myself. And thank you for helping me to discern what is mine and what is not. Thank you, Gail. Just like sound baths that resonate with our soul and with our chakras, very healing. I was pondering on while meditating there that these sacred sounds of coffee. I often feel like we're not saying or sharing anything that you guys don't already know. Deep at a subconscious level, your soul already has all the wisdom and all the knowledge. We just kind of bring up little reminders to the conscious mind every now and then, and try to share those. So every time you open a book or hear a song that resonates with you, it's because it's touching your subconscious mind, your subconscious spirit, and bringing it up to the conscious mind. That's why it's like, yes, yes.
Yes. Every time I hear those notes and the Mother Earth gong today, ooh, shake up that energy.
So thank
Thank
you
you.
all for
Oh,
joining us today. In May, we'll be on Gail's channel, Sacred Sounds of Coffee. We'll be on Gail's channel, Spark Soul Therapy. So make sure you subscribe to her so you can chat with us when we're live.
yes.
Um,
Thank you all. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see everybody. Thank
do,
you.
do a little self indulgence. The
Yes.
energy is a little crazy. So for me, it's as you know, it's always the bubble baths. I took one last night.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the salt baths too. Salt with the little lavender. Ooh, it takes me out. Wipes it all away.
Go for a walk. We've got this beautiful day today. I'm definitely got to go for a walk around the neighborhood a little bit and stretch my legs after yesterday.
Yes.
Thank you all. We will see
Yes.
you in May in Petty Boots tonight on Tarot's Apprentice channel.
Yes. Thank you.